Yo, what's going on, my VVOGs, my Omi homies, my fellow master collectors, and everybody else on YouTube? It's your bromy, the Gale, back at it again with another VV video. Okay, so we are back with another VV video, and I've been hearing a lot of talks about, mint numbers and edition sizes and what's going to make it in the long run. And I thought it would be interesting to do a video on popularity versus rarity. We're going to take a look at some examples of edition sizes versus, popularity. And we're going to talk about it, and, hopefully it'll give you something to think about. And if you're new, this is good to think about. And yeah, without further ado, let's just breeze into it. Okay, so when I first thought of this concept of a video, the first example I thought of was the Back to the Future hoverboard situation. This was the first time we got a idea of scarcity versus rarity, or actually popularity versus edition size. So if we take a look at the NoTech hoverboard, let's look at the details. So this is a common hoverboard from this series. There are 7,777 editions. And let's take a look at the floor again. The floor is 50 gems. Now let's take a look at Marty's hoverboard, and then we'll go to the details real quick. So it also is a common, and it has 7,777 editions. But for this board, the floor price is 164 gems, which is like more than double of what the NoTech hoverboard is. So they both have the same edition size, and they're both a common. So why is Marty's hoverboard more? Well, it's because it's Marty's hoverboard. He was the main protagonist of the Back to the Future movie, and this is the hoverboard that he used in the movie. So it's pretty iconic, and people remember it, and it's nostalgic. The NoTech hoverboard, it was from one of the goons or whatever, from one of the Griff's gang. So nobody really thinks twice about that board, really. But this is the first example. This is the first time that we realized a common could surpass a rare. Actually, I meant to take a look at the rare, actually, because the rare is only going for $93, and it has 444 editions. So 3,000 editions less, or 3,333 editions less than the common, and yet the common is surpassing it in value. So yeah, I meant to take a look at the rare, not the other common, but yeah. So a common can surpass a rare if it's significant enough. Yeah, the only thing that it didn't pass is the ultra rare, and that's because it's the ultra rare and there's only 3,333 editions. But it came close a couple of times. Back in the day, it came close to flipping the ultra rare, but that's the first example. So significance can weigh more than a rare. A significant common can weigh more than a rare, and that might be why they made it the common. Who knows? But yeah, that is example one. Okay, so my next example is going to be popularity versus scarcity. So we're going to check out my main man Fumo once again. So currently has a floor of 90 gems. This is a season 1 collectible with only 3,500 editions, 3,500 editions, okay? Cost $15.99 in the store. And then we're going to compare it to, let's go on over here. We're going to compare it to the Spider-Man common, the very first Spider-Man Marvel dropped. So Spider-Man is going for 160 gems right now. This is a season 2 collectible with 32,000 editions. So Popular is arguably one of the most popular heroes in the world. Marvel's cooking right now. They got the MCU, just taking over all the entertainment. But yeah, we're talking about 32,000 editions compared to 3,500. We're talking about season 2 compared to season 1. So popularity can far outweigh scarcity. Now this is an even bigger example because that is a big difference between only 3,000 editions compared to what, 30,000 editions more. So Fumo should be about $1,000+ if we're going by edition size. But yeah, Spider-Man has already surpassed him in value, and that's just interesting to see. Sometimes we can't place too much emphasis on the word common or just the edition size. Sometimes you got to look at the context and understand what it is that the character represents. And for this one, this is Marvel's first ever drop on Veve. It's Spider-Man. That says a lot right there. Compared to Fumo, Fumo, he's I think he's a lesser known character, right? Tokidoki, I think Tokidoki is big in Japan, and to be fair, the Tokidoki fan base hasn't all migrated over to Veve, but same can be said of Marvel. But yeah, I mean, if we're really looking at it, I think Fumo as well as other Tokidoki might be pretty undervalued if we're just going by edition size. But that's the debate, right? Is popularity or edition size? Like, what are people going to want more when this is mainstream, right? Fumo isn't the only one with 3,500 editions. We got Pepperino with a floor of 79. Pepperino also has 3,500 editions, and it's an uncommon. Spider-Man is a common, but the title doesn't really matter, right? Pogo, same situation, 70 gems, floor, 3,500 editions. These are going to be super scarce compared to the 32,000 edition Spider-Man, but time will tell. But I thought that was an interesting scenario comparison. While we're at it, let's take a look at Belina. She has even less editions than Fumo. So she has 2,500 editions, and she has a floor of 149 gems, which is right along there with Spider-Man right now. And then let's take a look at Metallo. Now this is interesting also. Metallo has the same edition size as Belina, 2,500, but his floor price is 228 as opposed to 150. So we got a couple of interesting comparisons going on here. Why is Fumo almost twice the amount of Belina? Is it because he's all metal? Because he looks cooler? You got the same amount in the marketplace too, 71 each in the marketplace. So we got a couple of interesting comparisons. Sometimes physical appearance might play a role in the price. You got Belina versus Metallo. Maybe more females might like Belina, or you never know. You never know people's reasons for pricing an item more than the next. So hopefully that gave you something to think about there. Let's move on. Here's another fun little situation that I've always noticed that I would like to bring to your attention. So let's start off with the Jim Lee Joker. This is the first appearance Jim Lee Joker. As you know, first appearances are significant within the collecting world. They hold much more value than any other version of the Joker or whatever the first appearance is. So he currently has a floor of 335 gems. Now let's take a look at his details. There's 7,500 editions of this Joker. He costs $80 basically at retail. Now let's take a look at the Harley Quinn. The Harley Quinn basically is $100 less than the Joker right now, and she is also a first appearance, and she also has 7,500 editions. So it's always been interesting to me that Harley has always been chasing the Joker. Harley Quinn is arguably as popular as the Joker these days, and if you guys didn't know, the Harley Quinn black and white statue was one of the best selling statues out of the whole entire line. So it's interesting to me why people put more value on the Joker. I get it, the Joker's iconic, he's the Joker, but it's very interesting. Same edition size, almost equal popularity. So that's something I always noticed. And then if we go over to Todd McFarlane, that is, we'll notice that he has a floor of 2.2k gems, and he also has an edition size of 7,500. This is the first appearance Batman across every platform in premium digital format. This is the first NFT dropped on the Veve app. So once again, he holds a lot of significance. And Batman is pretty popular. Without Batman, there'd probably be no Harley Quinn or Joker. So that is why he is $2,000 as opposed to, a couple of hundred. So significant versus popularity versus edition size. That's a nice little something to think about, Yeah, let's move on. Okay, now let's take a look at a few comics. We'll start off by taking a look at Marvel Comics issue number 1, arguably the most important comic on Veve, or the most valuable, significant, what have you. It currently has a floor of 81 gems, and let's take a quick look at the edition size. It has 48,000 editions for the common. All right, so remember that this is like one of the most important comics out there. So now let's take a look at Kang, Avengers issue number 8. So this one currently has a floor of 187 gems, and this one has 6,000 editions, and it's a common. So we'll notice here that even though this comic isn't as important as Marvel Comics issue number 1, due to its edition size, it has far surpassed the common of Marvel Comics number 1. Now, as time goes on, it's possible that Marvel Comics number 1 can, pass or flip the Avengers number 8 common, but due to the edition size, there's more value currently on that comic. Now let's also go to another comic real quick. Or I guess we could check out Beta Ray Bill, Thor issue number 337. Same deal. This one also, oops, didn't mean to click on that. This one also has 6,000 editions. This is a low run comic. So this isn't that popular of a comic or that big of a deal. So it is tied currently with Marvel Comics issue number 1, simply due to the limited edition of this comic. So I'm just trying to show you guys that the edition size can equal out the significance if it's low enough. So we'll go to Hitmonkey next, which was just recently dropped. It's got a floor of 58 gems. We'll call it 60. That's about 27 less than Marvel Comics issue number 1. Also 6,000 editions. So I'm not sure if Hitmonkey is that big of a deal. I mean, it just came out on TV and Hulu, and it just got dropped. But due to its edition size, it's only about 30 gems less than Marvel Comics issue number 1. So I just showed you all that to show you that the edition size can equal out, the significance of another item if it's low enough in edition size. One special note I wanted to make within the comics while we're still here is, so if you're not familiar, these comics are all the same comic on the inside. These are just different variant covers. Each variant cover has a different edition size. So the Marvel Comics might have 48,000 editions, while the Secret Rare has 600 editions. Now the question is, would you rather have a low mint 3-digit common, like let's say a 501 common, or would you rather have a, let's say, 47,000 edition Secret Rare? So that's an interesting debate, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out going forward in the future. Because some people place a lot of value on low mints, while other people place value on low editions. So as you can see, somebody has listed the 501 comic at 100K, and yeah, people understand the value of this comic. You see all the 3 digits are no less than 1,000, no less than 2,000, as it should be. And then let's go to the Secret Rare real quick. Only has 600 editions, and even the lowest, the highest mint has a floor of 40,000. So 39,000 Secret Rare. So would you rather have the Secret Rare or a low mint common? That's the question. So I just thought I'd throw that out there, something to think about for the new people and veterans alike. Now, this video is getting kind of lengthy, and I could go on forever on this subject, but we'll end this off with the golden moments, and we're just going to look at popularity and scarcity or rarity together in the same brand. So let's start off with Elsa. She currently has a floor of 1K, and her edition size is what's curious here. There are 12,333 editions. Now, this is a lot of editions. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's not. But in this point in time, this is a lot of editions to be on the Veve app. And this is the first time that we've seen an edition size this high, ask for a price of 1,000 gems like this. And that's strictly due to the brand, I believe. Disney, so iconic. Disney's first ever drop on Veve. Homer also has 12,333 editions and currently has a floor of, we'll call it 800 gems. So the brand can speak volumes for, the asking price. Same thing with Iron Man. I think he has 12,333 editions. So these are all pretty high prices for such high editions. I know we're getting a lot of people on the app right now, and these edition sizes are, I guess, are relative to the user base right now. But let's see, R2-D2, 8,333 editions, asking price 2,000 gems. That's appropriate. First Star Wars, Star Wars, one of the biggest brands out there. Let's look at Wall-E, 600 gems. I think he has like a edition size of 10,000. Yep, 10,333. That's less than Elsa and Bart. So that also goes to show you that, the brands within the brands. Bart, The Simpsons, is more popular than Wall-E. So is Elsa. Even though Wall-E is uncommon and those guys are commons, those guys are asking for more than the Wall-E. Even though Wall-E is Pixar, it's still, it depends on the character on the trophy. And to go on that, let's see, Bart's skateboard, $855 for the floor, only 6,333. So there was a point in time where Bart and Homer had flipped the skateboard, and they're actually not too far off. So the skateboard is nearly, if not exactly, half the edition sizes of Bart and Homer. But the fact that there are two iconic characters in the same trophy, as opposed to just a skateboard, which is like an item or an accessory type thing, that's another point to make, that it depends on the actual NFT. You got two characters as opposed to a skateboard. Even though the skateboard is iconic and you see it in the intro of The Simpsons every episode, it still doesn't hold as much weight as two iconic characters. This is an iconic scene right here. This is a great trophy when I think about it. But yeah. Now let's go to the granddaddy of them all, the partner statue. A floor of 7.8K, got as high as 14K, but I think that was due to a pump. But at any rate, it'll see those numbers again in the near future, I believe. 7.8K, and this has an edition size of 4,333 editions. It costs $333 for retail. And yeah, guys, this is probably the only time we're going to see Walt and Mickey in NFT format. This is the first appearance of Walt and Mickey in NFT format. There can never be another NFT first appearance of Walt and Mickey. This statue is probably going to the moon. But anyway, the edition size is pretty low, and compared to all the Disney fans out there, it is extremely low. So I said all that to say that yeah, I don't know why I said that, but I'm just stating facts at that point. But yeah, hopefully I've made my point here. Let's take a look at the Mickey hat real quick. 2.6K gems, 6,333 editions, like the skateboard, but the skateboard is only like $700 asking right now. The Mickey hat is Mickey Mouse's sorcerer's hat, and once again, brand over, the popularity over popularity. Same edition sizes, but this one's asking for a lot more. If people put more value on the skateboard, then the skateboard would be worth $2,000. But you know, the market will decide the value, and Mickey is more iconic, so that's why that is. And I think that's all I have to say about that right now. So yeah, and that's the video, my friends. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you learned something or found this content entertaining, feel free to drop a like on the video and consider subscribing for more VV content like this. So, one of my longer videos I've done in a while, but hopefully you gained value from it. It's just interesting things to think about, and the sooner we get a grasp on these concepts, the better off we'll be, as VV is getting more mainstream by the minute. You know, it'd be nice to have a good head start on the competition or the masses that are inevitably going to flood into VV. And yeah, with that being said, I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is financial advice. I'm just your friendly neighborhood genius sharing his thoughts and opinions on this awesome app known as Veve. So take everything that you hear with a grain of salt, because things could change. And with that being said, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Until then, peace out and hodl strong, my friends. Later.